Hi all, it's Teresa in Gemma's house. Well, I love to collect old prints that are usually framed to decorate in my house. I recently bought this one. It's an 8x10. It had a cardboard backing. And if you know me, you know that I am not religious. But these old type prints of Jesus, they're just nostalgic to me because my Italian grandmother had a lot of them in her house. And also, usually they're really nice paintings. These prints are usually about 100 years old. And they're very dramatic. This is the first one I've bought. And I think I'm going to fix it up and put it on my wall somewhere. I love the blue colors. It was framed, and the frame is really nice. And it just has a little bit of discoloration in the one corner. And I will fix that with acrylic paint. And then I will probably mount the print. It's pretty brittle, and it's rippled too. So I will probably put white glue on the back of this one, and it will need some help to adhere down on a piece of foam board really flat. I'll have to help it as it's drying. Another print that I got, and this is also an old one. I have seen this several times, and this again is probably a good 100 years old. It's in a beautiful old wood frame that's in really nice shape. But look at the back of it. I'll take this one apart too. I'll remove the glass and I'll clean up the frame. And this will be great on my walls. So let me show you how I'm going to fix these ones up. Okay, so for this first one, I have a piece of 1/4 inch foam core board, and this will fit on it fine. And this is just regular, inexpensive white glue you can get at the craft store, and a foam brush. And I'm not watering this glue down. I'm using it full strength on the back of the print. And I'm gonna put a good amount on it because, like I said, this is pretty rippled, this old print. So I want to try to make it flat. Okay, I'm just going to spread the print out as flat as I can make it, going from the center out towards the edges. I'll just keep doing this to make sure I get out all the ripples and bubbles and ridges as it's drying. This is not going to be perfect, I know, because this is a really old print. And it's not perfect. Okay, I can still see some ridges in there. So with this piece of cardboard, I'm going to try, I'm not sure if this will work, or if it will be any better than what I was doing. Yeah, I think it's helping a little bit. But again, this print was really rippled. And of course, this is on foam board, so I don't want to risk denting the foam board either. I think this is pretty good. Okay, what I think I might do on this is paint all of it the same color so that the paint goes down into the recesses. And for this, I'm just using one of these inexpensive small bottles of acrylic paint. This one is Camel. And a soft bristle brush. And I'm just using a little bit of paint, not much. Okay, that looks much better. And I'm just cleaning the paint off of the sides here before it dries. Okay, so now let's see how it does with some gloss varnish. Since I'm not using glass on this when I frame it, I like to use this gloss varnish. And I'll put one coat on it initially, let it dry, and then a second coat, brushing it the opposite direction. And again, I'm using this foam brush. And this gloss varnish really pulls out the color and the depth in these old prints, I have found. Can you see that already? How it looks deeper in color? Okay, I'll let that dry. And in the meantime, I'll work on this pretty frame some more. And what I'm going to do is, with just my finger, with a really light touch, add some of this metallic copper acrylic paint just to the raised portions. So just with a little bit on my finger, I'm going to pat it off, and just with a really light touch, go over these raised portions of the design. Oh, that looks really, really nice. I really like it. And while I have this paint here, I'm going to touch up these little areas on the side with the copper paint. It's not going to match exactly with what's on here. I might as well just go ahead and add a little copper to the sides just to dress it up a little. Okay, this looks very nice. Let that dry. Okay, so there are still some visible ripples in it, but at least they are flat. And this is with 2 coats of the gloss varnish. So let's get it into the frame. And I was looking through my stash and I came across this backing from another frame. And these are 1/8" canvas offset clips. You can get them on Amazon, of course. And they come with the appropriate size screws. Okay, and it has a hanger already, so I won't add the D-rings and the wire to this because it's very lightweight and I have a hanger already. This will be sufficient. And just to let you know, if you don't like the gloss varnish, even though it is protective, you can always use a matte varnish instead. Okay, so now for the next print. Okay, so when you're disassembling these old prints from the frame, you always want to wear protective eyewear because there's glass, there might be glass shards, and also these metal nails. When you're taking them out, things tend to fly around. I take the glass out and advertise it free on Facebook Marketplace. So again, I'm just using the full strength white glue and putting it on a foam board and using a cardboard to try to squeeze out the ripples and the bubbles. And there's this one bubble that would not budge, so I ended up having to put a little cut in it so the air could escape. Okay, so I had a problem with this one. I was trying to smooth out some ripples right here and not using the cardboard but just my finger, and here it was pulling off some of the ink. So there's this light streak right here. I love to touch up prints and paintings too by exactly matching the color, and I paint using acrylic paints on the print or painting. But this, I don't think I'll be able to blend a paint color in well enough. I'll have to cover too large of an area with the paint. So I'm going to leave that alone. This one, I'll touch up with my acrylic paint because that's just small. So the way I touch up prints and paintings, I'll mix the acrylic paints that I have, and I just use these small inexpensive bottles of acrylic paint that you can get at the craft store. So I'm going to use a little bit of black, a little bit of burgundy, and a little bit of white, and just trial and error. I might have to do this several times and see if I can come close to that color there. And I'm just going to dab at it. Okay, that's too light, so I'm going to add a little more black. Just a few little dabs, just a few little dots. And luckily this paint dries quickly, so you can play with it and just layer it little bit at a time, and this looks good just like that. And while I have the paint mixed, I'll touch up a few of these little dots. Some of them are supposed to be stars, I guess, but some of them are little blemishes from the printing process. I think I might just live with that. Okay, I'll let this dry. Okay, this one dried pretty flat, except for this bubble right here that I don't remember seeing before. But this is pretty good. So now for the varnish. And of course, you never know how varnish is going to react on these older prints. But on this one, I'm going to use this matte varnish, and we'll see how it goes. This is a new dry sponge brush. Hopefully it doesn't pull off the acrylic paint that I painted on there. I'm hoping it at least pulls out the color and the depth on this print, the same as the gloss varnish did on that other print. And it seems like it is so far. Wow, this is looking good. Okay, I'll let this dry and then we can put it back in the frame. And for the frame, I just washed it off real good with a wet sponge and Dawn dish detergent. And that cleaned it up really nicely. This does not have to be painted. I think I will add the D-rings and wire now while the print is still drying. And it's good to drill a pilot hole in these wood frames before you screw the D hooks in so the wood frame doesn't splinter. Okay, this turned out great. Okay, I added clips, one on each side, and even though this print was tight enough in the frame, it's not going to fall out or anything. These clips still help to hold it tighter to the front of the frame. And now I'm just going to add my little plastic bumpers on the bottom, one in each corner. And this helps to hold the frame stable on the wall so it doesn't shift around. Okay, nice. Since this is a night scene, I'm hanging this on a bedroom wall. That matte varnish worked really well too. So I hope this video gave you some good ideas of how you can fix up and frame some old prints. And if you like this video, can you please give it a thumbs up? And if I can also ask you to check my main Gemma's House channel page. If you click on the videos tab, you can scroll around, and I do so many other types of projects, quilting, painting, and backyard projects. You might find another video or two that you're interested in watching as well. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Bye-bye.